if you feel like someone is dragging you down, consider if you've put yourself in that environment, and you have choice. Stop hanging out there. Put yourself in different environments. Get too busy with your goals that you couldn't possibly be in that environment anymore. The Thinking Yourself into Exponential Results series on the podcast comes to you every Saturday morning and takes what we discuss in the Morning Mindset Club, compiles it into one easy to access recording, and gives you some killer bonus content at the end that's not to be missed and only available here. So let's dive right in. Negative influences and fears that are communicated from one person to another. This is so critical to be aware of for you and your business, because if you are allowing negative influences and fears into your thinking and you're unaware of it, it will influence how you're making decisions, the risks that you're willing to take, being visible and going for more, everything that's required for scaling your business. So listen in and learn. I hope you enjoy this episode. I'm Amira Alvarez, and have an amazing day. Good morning and welcome to another great day with the Morning Mindset Club. I'm Amira Alvarez, and let's get started. Next up in this list of self-analysis questions, Hill asks, do you have a definite major purpose? And if so, what is it? And what plan have you for achieving it? Okay. A definite major purpose. This is your goal. This is what you're going after. It's the highest and most important thing for you right now. Now, I'm not going to go into this in a lot of detail because we spent episode after episode after episode at the beginning of this morning mindset program articulating this. So you're going to want to either join the morning mindset program and start from the beginning. You can do that at theunstoppablewoman.com/free stuff, and you can join our Morning Mindset Club there. Or you can try and find it in the podcast episode guide going back way back, probably a year ago. So probably easier to go to the free stuff page and get that. But here's the thing. You have to have a definite major purpose in order to effectively grow yourself and have a meaningful life that you love and is full of success. Earl Nightingale coined the definition of success being the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If you're going after something progressively, you are a success. It's not about all the achievements along the way. That feels great. Celebrate them. But success is the progressive realization. The fact that you are actively engaged in going after that worthy ideal, your purpose, your definitive major purpose. So what is that? And then do you have a plan for achieving it? This is so critical. You need to have a success plan. You need to have a success plan. Good morning and welcome to another great day with the Morning Mindset Club. I'm Amira Alvarez, and let's get started. The next question in this list of self-analysis questions is, do you suffer from any of the 6 basic fears? If so, which ones? Now, we went into this in a lot of detail previously, so please go back and listen to, if you're listening to this on the podcast, on our podcast, there are a number of episodes that we did directly on these 6 basic fears. If you're listening to this in the Morning Mindset Club, go back and look at each of these audios. Go in, do the lock in your learning journal entries, take those quizzes, get really clear about what's going on for you. As a reminder, the 6 basic fears are the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health. Those 3 are the top 3, the most common. The fear of loss of love of someone is next up. the fear of old age, and the fear of death. And we went into all of those in a lot of detail, so I do not want to do that here again, but it's worthy of your attention to go back and ask yourself, which of these am I engaged in? Which of them is real for me? What are the symptoms that I have of this? And how am I going to clean them up, take it to the next level? What's one thing that you could do today to alter the course of your life by changing how you respond to this fear? Good morning and welcome to another great day with the Morning Mindset Club. I'm Amira Alvarez and let's get started. Next up in our list of self-analysis questions, we have you a method by which you can shield yourself against the negative influences of others? Do you have a method? He's asking you not if there are no negative influences in your life, because we're going to assume that they exist. But do you have a method for shielding yourself from them? So I'm going to give you a few ideas here to help you think creatively. One is, if you can't remove yourself from the environment of being with people who are a negative influence on you, which by and large you can, okay? So let's start there. Have you taken action yet to remove yourself from situations that put you in the same room, same environment as people who are a negative influence on you, okay? And a negative influence looks differently to different people. It could just be their energy or their mindset. It might be that they drink too much, or they are blowing off work, or they're not going after their goals, or they're people who complain all the time. I don't know what the negative influence is for you, but if you feel like someone is dragging you down, consider if you've put yourself in that environment and you have choice. Stop hanging out there. Put yourself in different environments. Get too busy with your goals that you couldn't possibly be in that environment anymore. But let's say you're at that Thanksgiving dinner, you're with your family, and Uncle Joe has a bad attitude, and you don't actually want to not be at the Thanksgiving dinner. That's not the choice that you're making. What do you do then? Well, you nod your head and smile, and you put a little energetic barrier around yourself. You also can deflect. Okay, this is a perfect time for deflection. When you're doing the work on yourself, not the perfect time for deflection. But this is the perfect time for deflection. You change the subject. That's what it looks like here. When Joe starts talking politics and it doesn't agree with you, you start talking about, where he's taking his next vacation, or what he's doing at his lake house. Is he having fun renovating the blah, 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 or how's the wood shop, or whatever it is. Okay? You just change the subject. And in all of this, it's extraordinarily important to start taking personal responsibility. If you find that there are too many people in your life that are a negative influence on you, then what is it in you that is attracting that? We're not saying that as a blame or shame game. That's not what we're involved in here. But there is something in how you're showing up in this world that is calling that in. Now, it might be an old pattern and you need to let this current stuff move past you, or it might be something that you need to clean up. And I'm always asking myself, how did I create this? So that I look at my thoughts, my emotions, my behaviors, and my expectations, and I see how, oh, look, this is how I called this into my life, because that puts me back in the driver's seat. Now I have agency again. I can shift that and I can create different outcomes for myself. Good morning and welcome to another great day with the Morning Mindset Club. I'm Amira Alvarez and let's get started. Okay, next up in this list of self-analysis questions is, Do you make deliberate use of auto-suggestion to make your mind positive? This is a big deal, guys. It's one of the most powerful tools that you can use. We've gone through this already in the teaching of Think and Grow Rich. So please, again, go back and binge listen to the previous episodes. They go back a whole year on the podcast, or better yet, join, if you're not listening to this already in the Morning Mindset Club, join the Morning Mindset Club and start this process from the very beginning. You can find that on our free stuff page, which is theunstoppablewoman.com/free stuff. And you can get this whole methodology on how to use auto-suggestion to achieve your goals faster than you ever thought possible. So this question really is, are you using it? Did you blow it off? Did you get distracted? Did you say that I'll do it for a week and then do something else? That's something that happens quite frequently for people. So I'm calling that out. Just without guilt and shame, go back, start again. You need to use auto-suggestion. And there's so many different ways to use this. At our summits, well, the next summit at least, we are part of the swag that we're giving people. We're sending or giving in person, depending on whether they're coming in virtually or in person, goal cards and goal pads so that you can look at your goal daily and reiterate it and make it part of your process of auto-suggestion. There's a methodology for this. And then, of course, we take that further with the Spirit of Wealth Mastermind and Masterclass. I teach people how to use something called the Creation Playbook, which is like auto-suggestion on steroids. So for your whole life, it's amazing. Okay, so are you using auto-suggestion and you're making use of it deliberately? I like to use it in the mornings and the evenings in particular, but I also think it's amazing to have little triggers throughout your day. So every time I go to the bathroom, I think about my goal. I reiterate my goal, and that is a form of auto-suggestion. So I'm using it positively throughout the day. You can do something like every time you look at your dog, or every time you look at your kid, or every time you walk through a doorway. You can use that as a trigger to remember your goal and reiterate who you are being to achieve that goal. Ever feel like you're working really hard, but you're not exactly sure what's going to move the needle in your business? That can be so frustrating. If you want to meet high-performing women going for more in their lives and their businesses, and you want to understand how to really make an income breakthrough, I invite you to join us at the Unstoppable Woman Income Breakthrough Summit. Learn more and grab your ticket at theunstoppablewoman.com/summit. I'd love to show you how you can make this happen for yourself faster than you ever thought possible. Good morning and welcome to another great day with the Morning Mindset Club. I'm Amira Alvarez and let's get started. Next up is this question. Which do you value most, your material possessions or your privilege of controlling your own thoughts? So this is important because if you value your material possessions more than the privilege of controlling your own thoughts, you are in scarcity thinking. You're thinking that this is so much more important, these things, wherein our ability to choose our thinking is our greatest power, and it allows us to make manifest anything that we want. So if for some reason all your material possessions were taken away from you, let's say that there was a fire or someone burglarized your house or you lost everything in a bankruptcy, something like that. If you know how to control your thoughts, you can make manifest again anything that you want. Anything. What is more powerful then? Well, obviously it's your thinking. So are you going to be in fear of losing, which is deconstructive thought? So fear of losing your things or valuing your things more than anything else. That is a thought that keeps you limited and driven by fear. But if you value your ability to choose your thinking, to control your own thoughts, then you will be able to create anything on the material plane. So obviously, I'm answering that question for you. It's now not such a passive question. I am directing you to choose one of these answers. That said, if you didn't have that as your answer initially, that's just where you're at, and that's fine. And now, based on this new information, which are you going to choose? Good morning, and welcome to another great day with the Morning Mindset Club. I'm Amira Alvarez, and let's get started. Next up is the question, are you easily influenced by others against your own judgment? Okay, if this is you, listen up. I think this happens for a lot of people. Okay, there have actually been studies around this, that groupthink is very powerful. The desire to conform to what other people say and do is a very strong driver. We have a fear of being thrown out of the tribe. So there's a risk of social rejection when we use our own judgment and don't conform to the judgment of others or let ourselves be influenced by others. There is a fear of being rejected there. And we go, oh, what is everyone else doing? I'm going to do what everyone else does. And this happens to almost everyone. And clearly that happens as teenagers, and we learn that along the way. But there's groupthink that happens in all groups. It can take hold of people and become quite like a tumbleweed. There's like this domino effect where everyone starts thinking some thought that is not necessarily accurate or true, but everyone else believes it, so you start believing it as well. So there's that. And then there's something else that you need to know, which is that this happens. They've done studies that this happens quite frequently, that there's something called Ash's experiment. And that was where they took a group of people and had the test subject answer a question that was based on whether this line, which was a certain length, was similar in length to which of these three lines. And two of them were wrong answers and one of them was the correct answer. And they were in a room with other people. And the other people, though, were actors. And those actors chose consistently the wrong answer. So when they did that, instead of choosing C, which was the correct answer, they chose A or B, and all of them chose, let's say, A. I don't remember which one it was. The test subject, who wasn't an actor but a real participant, ended up choosing A against their better judgment, knowing that B looked accurate and correct answer, but they chose the one that was what everyone else was doing. And they found that this was a huge percentage. 74% of participants conformed in at least one trial. On average, people conformed 1/3 of the time. Okay. So it's amazing to see this happen, and you think you're immune to it, but you're not. So to this question, are you easily influenced by others against your own better judgment? The way to start looking at this is to look for the pattern. When is it happening? When are you doing this? And what is the reason for you conforming? Is it that you don't want to make others feel bad? Is it that everyone else is doing it? Is it laziness of thinking? What is driving that? And look to clean that up. That would be a great way to better your best today. Good morning and welcome to another great day with the Morning Mindset Club. I'm Amira Alvarez and let's get started. Okay, next question. Has today added anything of value to your stock of knowledge or state of mind? I love that question. He's asking it as part of these self-analysis questions that you don't necessarily need to ask daily, but this one's a daily question, which I think would be a fabulous thing to add to your end of day routine. Has today added anything of value to your stock of knowledge or state of mind? The answer needs to always be yes. If you cannot find that, ask yourself, what would you need to have done differently in order for today to have added anything of value to your stock, your self-worth, okay? Your stock of knowledge and your state of mind, your attitude, how you're seeing things. What can you pull from today that you can say, oh, I learned from that? That's added to my stock of knowledge. And state of mind. How has today helped your perspective on life? Helped your state of mind? For the bonus content of this episode, I want to riff on this last question that we went through. That question was, has today added anything of value to your stock of knowledge or state of mind? And this is just such an important question. And I want you to look at it from this perspective. Are you bettering your best? Do you have a growth mindset? Now, many people talk about having a growth mindset, but there are areas of their lives that they don't want to look at. They're like, that part's challenging for me. I want to look over here where it's easy for me to have a growth mindset, but over here, let's just turn a blind eye to it. And what you need to do is really shine a light in those shadow corners, those areas of your life where you are not working, if you're honest with yourself, at the level that you wish to be working. And I'm not just talking about your business. It could be your business. It could be visibility. It could be marketing. It could be reaching out for referrals. It could be how you work with your team, your communication, your boundaries, your time management. It could be any of those things and many, many other things in your business, right? Your leadership, your management style, all of that. Or it could be something in your personal life. Maybe you're great on the business side, but on the personal side, you don't work out, or you are always rushing, or you don't eat nutritiously that in a way that really supports your body, whatever it is. You don't have intimate conversations with your kids or your partner or whomever is important to you. You don't reach out to your friends or family. There's any number of places where you could recognize that you're actually not living up to how you, not an outside standard, but how you want to live up to, what you want to live up to. And that's where you can ask yourself, how could I better my best here? How could I really add to my life today? So instead of looking at the places where you're already pretty good, look at the places where you could do a little bit more, okay? Where you're slacking because you don't want to really look at how that part of your life is not growing so well. Okay, so that is such an important thing. If you do an incremental small thing every day to better your best, to add to your stock of knowledge or state of mind, you will, over time, transform yourself. It's easier than you think. Okay, with that, rock it out, be unstoppable, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining us and for being part of the Unstoppable Woman movement. This special series is a part of our Morning Mindset Club and comes to you here on the podcast every Saturday morning. If you'd like to join the Morning Mindset Club at no charge, you won't have to wait a whole week and can listen to this series in short daily snippets every morning. Plus, you'll get a quick implementation practice and mastery check-in to go along with it. You can find the Morning Mindset Club info in the show notes below, or just head over to theunstoppablewoman.com/mindset club. And as always, please share this podcast with 2 or 3 women who are ready for exponential growth and exponential wealth. And if you're game, we always appreciate a review on iTunes. That really helps us reach and elevate more women. Thanks so much, and be unstoppable.